It was around 2:17 in the morning. I was alone in my apartment. My wife was away for the weekend and I had to work early the next morning. So I went to bed around midnight. Everything was normal. The room was dark. The fan was running slowly. And outside my bedroom window, there was nothing but an empty street. At latest that what I thought. Around 2:17 a.m. I suddenly wake up. I don't know why. There was no loud sound, no nightmare. I just opened it, my eyes. For a few seconds I stayed still in bed. Then I heard something tap. I looked toward the window. Nothing. I closed my eyes again. Then tap, tap. This time I was sure someone was tapping on my window. I slowly sat up. My bedroom was on the second floor. There was no balcony outside. There was no fire escape near that window. So there was no normal reason for someone to be standing there. I turned on my phone flashlight. The curtains were closed. I didn't want to open them. But then I heard a voice very quickly. Hello. I paused. Someone was outside. I grabbed my phone and called my friend. He didn't answer. I tried again, nothing. Then the tapping started again. Tap, tap, tap. I slowly walked toward the window. My hands were shaking. I stopped only a few feet away. Then I heard the voice again. Please open the window. I didn't answer. I stood there silently. The voice sounded like a man's voice, but something about it felt wrong. It was too calm. I finally looked through a small gap in the curtain and I saw him. A man was standing outside my window. He was wearing a dark jacket. His face was mostly hidden by the darkness. I could understand how he was there. I stepped back. Then the man slowly raised his head. He was looking directly at me and he smiled. I immediately closed the curtain. My heart was beating so hard that I could hear it. I ran into living room and looked the front floor. Then I called 911. While I was waiting, I heard something from the bedroom. Tap. I didn't move. Then tap, tap. The police dispatcher asked me to say somewhere safe. I told her someone was outside my second floor window. She asked me if I could see him. I said no because I was too scared to look again. About 10 minutes later, I heard police car outside. Two officers came inside my apartment. They checked every room. They checked the balcony. They checked the roof. But they found nobody, nothing. One officer asked me to show him the window. We went into the bedroom. The curtain was still closed. He slowly opened it. There was no one outside. Then he looked down. His face suddenly changed. He pointed at the bottom of the window. There were fingerprints on the glass. Fresh fingerprints from the outside. The officer asked me, "Do you have a ladder?" I said no. He looked at me and said, "Then I don't know how someone got up here." The police searched the building. They found on ladder no footprints, no broken window, nothing. Before leaving, one officer told me not sleep in that room that night. I split on the couch. The next morning, I looked at window again. The fingerprints were still there, but there was something else writing into the dust on outside of the glass were 4 words. I saw you were sleeping. I called the police again. They came back to took picture. They never found the person. I moved out that apartment 2 weeks later. I still don't know who was outside my window that night. But sometimes when I wake up at 2:17 a.m., I still look at window and I always make sure the curtains are closed.